Is the San Antonio housing market finally starting to turn around, or do buyers still hold the advantage? The latest May 2026 housing data is out, and the answer is a little more complicated than many headlines would have you believe. Inventory continues to rise, sitting at 5.61 months of supply, which keeps us firmly in a balanced market. At the same time, active listings are increasing while pending sales are declining. In simple terms, more homes are competing for fewer buyers. But here's what's interesting. Despite higher inventory and slower buyer activity, home prices are actually holding up better than many people expected. The median sold price increased to $295,000 this month, and homes that are priced correctly are still finding buyers. So, what does this all mean if you're buying a home in San Antonio right now? And what does it mean if you're thinking about selling? In this month's market update, I'm going to break down the latest numbers, explain what's really happening beneath the surface, and give you some practical strategies whether you're planning to buy, sell, or simply keep an eye on the market. So today's San Antonio housing market data is as of June 12th. This is all through the month of May. And as you can see, we came in with 5.61 months worth of inventory. That's up 4.66% month over month. So we added inventory to our already growing inventory through the month of May. And we saw a 97.3% list to sales price ratio. That's down almost 1%. That means that buyers negotiate a little bit more through the month of May. Sellers gave up a little bit more in the month of May. The typical days on the market for homes in May came in at 46 days on the market. So they're not staying on the market quite as long. They're down 4.17% month over month. They sold a little bit faster in the month of May. Good news for sellers that have their homes priced correctly in San Antonio. The typical home sold price in San Antonio at $295,000. That's up 3.51% month over month. Looking at median estimated property values in San Antonio, the median property value is sitting around $288,530. We're still relatively flat there. Last month's change came in at 0.2% and a 12-month change of negative 0.4%. So really almost no change. You can see here we're really just about flat all the way across the board. This is the USA there, and then San Antonio is the blue line at the bottom. Let's zoom in here. San Antonio is the blue line right below Bexar County there. So property values have remained relatively flat these last couple of years. Newly listed homes in San Antonio just on the market in May. The typical listing price for newly listed homes came in at $310,000. That's actually down a little bit, 1.3% month over month. The number of newly listed homes also fell 4.6% for a total of 3,019 homes newly listed in San Antonio, Texas. As you can see, that's pretty close to on par here. Looking back, here we have March, April, sitting at about 3,170. Go back to last year, we were at 3,300. So just a little bit under what we saw listed in 2025. Go back even further to 2024, 3,400. So fewer homes listed in the month of May versus the last 2 years. Active listings, this is where all that inventory is piling up for us. Listing price, typical listing price, $306,000, call it $307,000. That's up 2.4% month over month. And the number of properties listed or active listings in San Antonio is at 9,228 homes. That's up about 4%. And we're really under what we were last year. If we look here, May timeframe, 9,400 properties, and now fast forward to today, we're at 9,228 properties. So about 200 properties shy of what we had last year. We still have room to go here through July and August. We'll see if we catch up to the 9,800 mark there that you see for last year, 2025. This is where you want to make moves. If you are a buyer, you want to see more inventory come up because that means more competition for sellers. If you're a seller, you don't want to see this. You want to see fewer properties in the active listing pool. You don't want to be one of these, as they call them, stale listings that haven't sold yet, because now it is a competition to adjust moving forward to get your home sold. New pending homes under contract in the month of May. This is a leading indicator, one of the most important indicators that you can look at, right next to mortgage applications. And the newly pending homes under contract here in San Antonio came in about a price of $295,000. That's down a little bit, 1.3% month over month. And the number of properties, that's the big number you want to look at. Number of properties, 1,722 properties newly pending. That's down 14.7%, almost 15%. As you can see, this trend line here, this is year over year since May of 2021. And if you are a seller, you don't want to see this. You don't want to see the trend line coming down on pending home sales. That means that we're seeing fewer and fewer transactions happen. Look like we kind of took a bump up here since last year. Just a small bump. April, May, 1,800, 1,880. Nope, we're still down 1,722. So we are still down from last year's pending home sales. And if you're a buyer, that means less competition for you, right? If you're contemplating jumping into the market and a lot of homes that have been on that active list, go make offers on those homes. Those are the guys that are motivated. They want to sell. Just because they haven't changed their price doesn't mean they're not motivated. They may be just waiting for an offer. Maybe they haven't been approached by their agent yet to get a price change that is warranted. So go make an offer. Then pending listings, these are the leftovers, homes that didn't sell in May and they're left over. They went under contract pending in April and they're still pending. They were still pending in May. $309,990 is the typical pending price. The number of properties that were in that pending category, 2,220. That's down 11.5%. Again, same story in the pending home sales, trending in the wrong direction for sellers, trending in the right direction if you're a buyer. And then sold listings, homes that sold in San Antonio came in at $295,000. That's up 3.5%. Number of properties that got sold, made it to the finish line, 1,775 properties sold in San Antonio, 2.2% month over month increase. Not a whole lot of increase there, just a little bit. But again, if you are selling a home, this number matters. You take this number and you look at the number of new listings that came onto the market and the number of active listings that came on the market. And what do you have? You have more homes chasing fewer buyers, fewer active buyers. That is a real issue for the housing market in San Antonio right now. Okay, is it accelerating really fast? No, not really, but it's still heading in the opposite direction if you're a seller that you wanted to move in. And it's moving in the right direction if you're a buyer. If you're sitting on the fence waiting, which I think if you're a buyer and you have to move and you want to move, again, I can't say this enough, make an offer on those active listings. You never know when the market's going to shift again and things are going to change. Interest rates come down and the house that you were planning on making a move on is suddenly gone and you're just not going to make anything happen there. So wrapping up, supply, 6.1 months worth of supply. Last month's change increased 4.7% and a 12-month change of 5.3% in supply. So good bump in supply there last month, and we'll continue to see over the next couple of months what that supply looks like and what that means for buyers and sellers. So what's the big takeaway from May 2026 housing market report? The San Antonio housing market remains balanced, but buyers still have meaningful negotiating power. We're seeing inventory continue to rise, active listings continue to grow, and pending sales remain soft. That means sellers are still competing for buyer attention, and many are making concessions to get deals across the finish line. If you're a buyer, this is not a market where you should be afraid to negotiate. Look closely at homes that have been sitting on the market for a few weeks. Ask about closing cost assistance, interest rate buy downs, repair credits, or price reductions. There are opportunities out there, but you have to be willing to ask. If you're a seller, the strategy is different than it was a few years ago. Buyers have choices now. Pricing your home correctly from day one, making it show well, and being prepared to negotiate are becoming more important than ever. The good news is that well-positioned homes are still selling and prices have remained surprisingly resilient. As we move deeper into the summer, I'll be watching on key metrics, pending home sales. If we start seeing pending sales rise while inventory levels stabilize, that could signal a shift towards a stronger market for sellers. But for now, buyers continue to have the edge. If you'd like to know what these market conditions mean for your specific home, visit homevaluetexas.net for a free home value estimate or reach out to me directly, 210-260-6617. Be happy to help you create a strategy that's tailored to your situation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in next month's San Antonio Housing Market Update.